10 seconds. Oh, here we are. Oh, yeah. Good evening and welcome to the Whole Person Prosperity broadcast and podcast
Whoop, whoop.
on this Sunday, Share the Wealth Sunday. That is May the 20th, 2018. I'm Stan Matthews, and of course, I'm joined by our Whole Person Prosperity coach, the one and only Samut Scott, also known as Mama Yoga.
Good evening,
Uh,
everyone.
we welcome you to the Whole Person Prosperity broadcast and podcast. We've been away for a while. Momentous things have been happening, and we're glad to be back sharing with you. The purpose of the Whole Person Prosperity Share the Wealth Sunday broadcast and podcast is teaching you how to raise your mind body energy and enable you to acquire anything, and I mean anything that you may desire. Of course, our Whole Person Prosperity Coach is here with me on this Sunday evening, and we are truly, truly happy to be back with you, the greatest audience in the world. As you know, on Monday evenings, we also host the Miracle Monday Whole Person Prosperity broadcast, and we are happy to report that that broadcast will not only be streaming on Facebook Live and on the MatthewsBroadcast.com website, but it will also be on Comcast Channel 190 for the entire state of New Jersey, beginning on Monday, the 4th of June at 7:30 p.m. Monday, the 4th of June at 7:30 p.m. We're very excited about being elevated to this new platform and talking with and sharing with and collaborating with more than 450,000 subscribers and viewers on the Comcast platform. You helped us to get where we are on this journey, and we thank you very sincerely for all the support you've provided for now going into the third year. Very excited about what is happening with the Whole Person Prosperity broadcast and now podcast. And so we want to begin this evening, like we do any other evening, by sharing our thanks for all of those who have become friends of the Matthews broadcast. We are viewer and guest supported, and so we always begin with our gratitude for those who support us. Want to say thank you to Mr. Brian Fleming for being a friend of the Matthews broadcast. Want to say thank you to Miss Tina Drew. Want to say thank you to Mr. Chris Johnson. Want to say thank you to Miss Jaren Kenny. Want to say thank you to Miss Shakira Palmer. Want to say thank you to Miss Dorinda Walker. Want to say thank you to Miss Michelle Alvarez, Miss Victoria Hepburn, and the one and only super lawyer, Miss Allison Williams. So, having shared our thanks for those of you who support us, we want to begin this evening by focusing in on just how do you, in these interesting times, just how do you elevate your mind body energy so that you may become more attractive and attract anything that you might desire. So the person who is best suited to enable you to do that sits to my right, the one and only Mama Yoga, Miss Samut Scott. Good evening, madam.
Oh, good evening, sir. How are you?
So glad to be
So
back.
formal, my goodness.
It just feels so at home this evening
Right.
to be back with our audience. And so you take it away from here. Exactly how should a person elevate their mind body energy to acquire those things which they desire? I know that this evening you wanted to focus on clearing that mental and spiritual energy, clearing and heightening that energy. So, with that, Fire away.
Okay. Well, before I get into that, I would be remiss if I did not give praise and honor and direct our focus to one of the holidays that should be on our hearts as people of African American descent, and that is, it was Malcolm X's birthday yesterday. Had
Yeah.
Malcolm X lived, he would have been 93 years old. My. But we understand the historical precedent, or this historical scenario that took place in that fateful event up in Harlem, where Malcolm was gunned down, indeed assassinated. But he left us with some great treasure of self-development, self-love, and self-perspective, and the understanding that we should be about human rights. Because that was the platform in which he was moving towards once his eyes began to get clear. So we give honor and praise and remembrance of our great ancestor who has gone on and working for us in the nominal, the spiritual plane, Malcolm X El Haj Malik Shabazz.
A slight correction, Mama Yoga. Malcolm X lives.
Okay. Expound on that, sir.
Well, as many in the audience know, I do not subscribe or embrace the concept of death. There is only one energy in the world. That is infinite, everlasting life energy. And that life is either lived on a mental, spiritual, and physical plane. And even when we leave the physical plane, we still are quite alive on the spiritual plane.
Yes,
And,
Ashe.
and so I know that the spirit, the teaching, the energy that we refer to as Al Hajj Malik Shabazz, or Malcolm X to the world, still lives. Certainly lives in my life and influences my life and influences my behavior, and I'm sure that it does in a very profound and wonderful way.
You are right. That's absolutely correct. That is only the truth, what you just said. So thank you for that, and let's keep that in mind. And in truth be told, or indeed, this is why we call the name of our ancestors, because it is, a living vibrational energy that we are seeking to continue to nourish and hold up the person's works as well as their spirit. So speaking of that now, those of us who have physical form, however, there are several things that we need to do to keep that physicality as well as the psychic and the mind-body energy of a person flowing unobstructed from, the stickies, as we call it in spiritual culture. Let me back up and explain a little bit, right? You have several what we call in yogic culture bodies, right? Your physical body, your energetic body, your auric body, the unseen, but it's a vibration. Everybody can relate to the fact if you walk into a room and you get kind of a feeling once you come in the room, and it's like the vibes, right? We all say that. Now, check out the vibes, or, ooh, I don't dig his or her vibes. Well, that is energy, their energy preceding them before you actually come to their personal or their presence. If we don't have a regular practice of clearing the energetic body, then what happens is we get kind of a sticky, gluey kind of karmic or resin or residue on that energy. And so your auric body, your energetic body becomes cloudy, it becomes more dense, it becomes, as we say, like sticky. So in yogic culture, there are several practices that one can do to cleanse that energy off of your aura so that you become more bright, you become more magnetic and attracting to you the things and the people and the relationships and the circumstances that you desire to improve your success in your life, right? Just like people are now, this is the time of year where people are, headlong, aggressively, energetically, indeed enthusiastically. If there was a detox flag to be waved, folks would sure be waving it now. this is the time of the year where people are really into detoxing the body. Detoxing internally, right? Taking all kinds of, dietary measures to clean out the body from the winter's heavy food, right? So just like a person takes the time to detox their internal physicality, you need a detox for your mental, you need a detox for your energetic or psychic or aura body. And nowadays, we need a digital detox. Somebody out there say, Ashe, amen with me here. Right? The digital detox, right? Unplug, if you can. Lord have mercy. That's digital, being on social media and attached to your screens and all of that. I don't know. I think that's some new form of crack. Anyhow, we could use a detox from those processes. So let me just give you some idea of what you can do for each one. Physically, this time of year, what you want to do is incorporate more green in your life. Now, I know some people are saying, look, I have enough green. I'm drinking all this green stuff. I'm doing this green. I eat salad once a week. I'm not a rabbit, Mama Yoga. Why should I be eating all this green? Well, the chemical makeup of plants is the most nourishing chemical components for the human body. The human body is nourished by plants, right? So when you eat your broccoli and spinach and salad greens and Brussels sprouts and all of these types of plants, it nourishes your chemical your cells on their most minute chemical level. And so then you become nourished and cravings drop away because the body is getting the nutrients that it needs. So this time of year, there's a whole school of thought in terms of eating by the season. And this time of year, you want to eat by the season. Well, what's happening this season? Everything is lush and green and growing and, bountiful, right? The trees have finally understood how to negotiate this schizophrenic weather we've been having here on the East Coast. And they're all green and just beautiful. Well, this time of year, you're supposed to be eating what is growing. That is parsley and lettuces and all kinds of fresh produce for your body. You can just start there. Now, I didn't say nothing about taking stuff out. I said increase the green that is in your for your physical body. If you have a lot of processed food, that is, you eat things out of packages, no matter what it is, if you eat from a package all the time, that is more than twice a week, is all the time, everybody. Then you can, for a time period, say 7 days, commit to not eating anything out of a package, right? Mm-hmm. So that's your physicality. So here's your challenge for that. For the next 7 days, we record this on Sunday night. If you're hearing it Monday or whenever you are hearing this out in the digisphere, just start where you are or start the next day. 7 days from now or 7 days from the time you start, make a commitment to eat more green foods, raw foods, not cooked to death where you pick it up and you can't even tell what it used to be, but raw green foods, and not to eat anything out of a package for 7 days. No package, right? No bagels, no chips, nothing that comes in a bag or a box or a bottle for 7 days. Man, oh man, that's going to be hard, right? Leave us a comment on that. Tell us how you did with that. I'd love to hear your wonderful successes and horror stories about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to get some.
And then for your mental capacity, anybody that is causing you a great deal of stress, stressful relationships, relationships where you don't feel fulfilled, right? Where you are in an engagement with someone and they're not meeting you at your needs and it is causing you mental distress. You want to put some distance between you and that person or you and that relationship. I'm not telling anybody to divorce their families or anything like that. I'm saying take a detox, take a break, because if people are in your life and they are not contributing to your well-being if they're just siphoning your energy and not contributing to your well-being, then that causes mental instability, it causes insecurity, it causes depression, it leads to dis-ease and discomfort in the body. Take a detox from those people in your life, okay? And then finally, I want to talk to you about the physical, the psychic or your aura, your energetic detox. What you want to do is to clear your aura is a series of yogic positions that you can do. One of them, actually, if you, I'm going to take a shameless plug here. You can go to my YouTube channel, Mama Yoga Wellness YouTube. I have a complete session there of clearing the auric energy. Mama Yoga Wellness, M-A-M-A-Y-O-G-A Wellness on YouTube. And the whole exercise process is laid out there. It's about 6 or 7 exercises that you can do in 2 minutes, each exercise to clear off the aura energy. The breathing is very important. The mental focus and all of that is right there. So because I don't have the capacity to do it right here, and this is part podcast, you can't really see, go to the YouTube channel so you can see the practice there. And then you want to take a detox for the next 7 days of the digital detox. If you can help it, don't bring your digital devices into your bedroom. Leave them outside on the charger of your bedroom, because this is what happened, and it's scientifically proven. When that phone, when that screen, that tablet or phone or whatever it is by your bed, while you're sleeping, the thing is still active. The camera is active. The voice recorder is active. The sometimes I will open my phone and the apps have switched around. Or you pick up your phone, as soon as you pick it up, swipe the screen, and an app is already open on the phone. What is happening in the middle of the night with the phone? Are you with me? So you do not want that energy siphoning your spirit time, and that's when you go to sleep, right? And our mind-body energy is so receptive when you're sleeping. That's your programming time. That if whatever's being whispered, like if you have music on in the background and there's commercials, you wake up and you feel like you want to go buy a Cadillac. Because all night long you've been fed in your subliminal space the idea of buying a Cadillac through the media that's by your bed or in your bedroom. So take a digital detox, right? If you can't be off your screens for a significant amount of time during the day, then you want to put them at the very least, put them out of your bed at night. The notifications pinging and going off and the lights and all of this, it disrupts your rest. So you may sleep, but you are not resting, because the mind is still being programmed by the devices that are around you. This is some spiritual science, but it's also concrete, neuroscience that I'm sharing with you. It's called neuro-linguistic programming that happens when you have those screens in your sleep time. Are you with me? So these are the things that your 7-day challenge here offered up to you by myself, Mama Yoga, the whole person prosperity coach. Clean out, clear your physicality, do a detox, don't eat anything from a package for 7 days, and eat as much green as you can. And I don't mean cover it in ketchup, people. Look here, some of y'all. Y'all gonna have to call me now. Call me at 609-516-9805 if you want further guidance. You can reach out to all the social media platforms. Find Mama Yoga there. Whole Person Prosperity Coaching, WPP coaching.com. We are all over. We're accessible to you. Leave us a comment and a review of what experiences that you have with this particular challenge. Oh, wait a minute. I kind of got sidetracked there. So your physicality, green, no packages. Your mental detox, people, feed them a long handle. Folks who are not showing up for you the way that you need them to show up. That's reasonable, in your life. And detox your physical, your energetic aura by looking at the Mama Yoga Kunda class that's on YouTube, and then you want to detox digitally. This is all the same stuff in 7 days by getting the screens out of your bedroom at the very least. And if you can set a time where you will not be on your social media throughout the day, say, okay, from 1 to 5, no social media. Or, look, we're going to have dinner. Everybody put their phones in some other room, and we sitting around having dinner with no phones, no notifications, no pinging, no digital crack at the dinner table, right? But work it out for your family, which works best, but the digital detox is necessary nonetheless. And that's my suggestion for the next 7 days, everybody.
Well, it sounds like we have some assignments there. We have add green as best as we can. No packaged food as best as we can. Digital detox, that's going to be a big time challenge, right, Ruben? I don't know, you're going to put that mobile phone down, Ruben.
Good for you, Ruben.
And move people who bring a negative stress out of your life. Now, having said those, our 7-day challenge assignments, why don't you share with us some unique energetic practices that you use for yourself on the mental side, in terms of elevating our mental energy? I know yoga straddles the physical and the mental side, but on the mental side, what are some thoughts that you have for people, affirmations, meditations, those sort of things?
Well, here's the thing about affirmation and meditation. I'm glad you touched on that, Mr. Matthews. You know, the thing about affirmation and meditation is it really is what I like to call a drip technology, right? It's not going to come and rescue you if you don't practice it every single day throughout the day. You know, our beloved brothers, the Muslim community, have a practice of praying 5 times a day. Well, you can use that format, if you will, to incorporate these mental mind-body energy practices in your life. You can. I often encourage my clients and students who take my classes to set a timer, either on their phone or actually use a timer or on their watch, that several times a day for 2 or 3 minutes. And you would just, as soon as the timer goes off, you still away, breathe for 5 minutes, set a timer, breathe deeply through the nose, and hold the breath a few seconds and breathe out. Breathe in through the nose. Hold the breath a few seconds and breathe out. Center your energy, and then you could have a list of affirmations, always starting with I am, and always in the present, right? Not it's coming. The universe only knows, it doesn't know anything about the past. It doesn't know anything about the future. It is only always in the present. What is reality is always what is happening. If you are thinking about if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you are anxious, you're living in the future. Peace is in the present, right? So you want to give your affirmation of, I am successful at XYZ. I'm an excellent manager of my finances and my money. These are affirmations that you want to give yourself. I am physically fit, strong, and able. And then along with each affirmation, you want to have a visual or an image of yourself in that particular way in which those words, an image that those words create. So for instance, if your affirmation is, I am successful at managing my money, you will see yourself with your accounts in front of you, all of them balanced and in line. You see yourself getting money and not spending it all on whatever. You see yourself actually manifesting that which those words are what those words was synonymous with those words. And that's how you use affirmations. But if you do not do this as a daily practice, then the affirmation and the meditation will not come to rescue you when the caca hits the fan, when things are challenging, when it gets hard, when it's easier to forget your power and those affirmations than it is to reach for them. It is a daily programming. Again, back to neural linguistic programming. It's a daily programming of your mind energy space, your mind body energy space that helps those affirmations and meditations rescue you. I know you have experience with that. You have a whole list of affirmations and practices that you use, and that's part of why you are the success that you are, Mr. Matthews.
Wow,
Well,
Ruben, that behind every compliment, you have to adjust yourself.
well, we have to get that 7-day challenge started right now.
Well, I totally agree that the subconscious mind determines our reality, and the subconscious mind can only be trained with affirmations. And I am is the most potent affirmation it can be trained with. An affirmation that was given to me years and years and years ago is an affirmation with the acronym, Ruben, called BICTEP. What is BICTEP? BICTEP. While I was at Kane University. And that affirmation was given to me, and the way that I was taught to use that affirmation is to believe that everything in that acronym was already done. So, Ruben, here goes. BICTEP is the body that I want is already mine. The I in BICTEP is the income that I want is already mine. The H, the home that I want, is already mine. The C, the community that I am part of, is already mine. The T, right? The time that I'm living in is now. The E, I am enjoying this reality that I've chosen right now. And the P, I give praises to the universal God that everything that I just said is already mine. So that acronym BICTEP was given to me while I was in college, and I was taught that everything in BICTEP, I must think about it as if it was already done. And that kind of ties into the I am, the present state of mind, the present state of being. And that has been very useful to me, so as you said, using pictures, the body I want, that body that all of us want, we have to have an image of that, right? That's
yes, Lord.
That income that we want, seeing yourself having that income that you want, we've got to have that picture in our mind, because the mind needs a target. That home that we all deserve, that we want, you've got to have an image of that. That community, that unconditional, loving community of friends, family, and associates that you want, you have to be able to see that in your mind. And of course, that time that you're living in must be now, right? Someone who I think is underappreciated today talks about the nowness of things is the one and only Reverend Ike. That we must think in the nowness of things.
That's right.
And of course, when we think of it as the nowness of things, it will take on a present reality that's now. As we get ready to hear from some of our guests who are going to call in at 609-807-2492, 609-807-2492 on this Sunday's segment of the Whole Person Prosperity broadcast and podcast, led by the one and only our Whole Person Prosperity coach, Samut Scott, Mama Yoga, as most of us know her. As we get ready to field questions and comments from our friends and contributors, I want to ask you, why do you think it is, and we were talking about this a little earlier, why do you think it is that there was such a rush of positive energy for the royal wedding yesterday?
Yeah.
Why do you think it was that people in our community felt so empowered, if you want to use that, to be participating in that wedding yesterday?
Yeah. That's a question you're asking me?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, yes, it was our community, but I don't know that it was just our community. You know, I mean, the fitness center that I go to, I went there and I saw European or white girls having a watch party. They had their mimosas, honey, and their scones and strawberries and cream and all of that, celebrating, watching on the big screen, all sitting around with their tiaras and everything. It was quite interesting to see that. Amongst the African American community, I've gotten a few calls about it, you know, a few intimate family members have called and had their discussions about it. And here's what my overall take on the royal everything is. We've all, African American, European American, Latina, everybody has been sold, the Asians, everybody has been sold and has accepted the idea of the royal prince, princess sweeping you off the feet, you know, Cinderella fairy godmother story. Like, we're all romanticized by that European monarchy. Everyone is. I don't care how Afro-black a person is, there's still a part of them that has bought the Cinderella story. And Meghan seems to be living the Cinderella story, right? And so it's seeing that that's not actually a movie. It sends like a romanticized, trance-induced fervor around that. There's a joy about this really happened to somebody that we could say was a real person. And she's ethnic. Right? That's how people feel about it, you know? It's a big romantic wave that we all bought from the Cinderella story and the royalty and the princes and the kings and the queens and all of this kind of thing. So that's part of what it is.
But how about this thinking? I think that in the history of the peoples of Africa, we have a cultural, historical association with being royalty. Right there in Ghana today, is there not an Ashanti royalty?
In Ghana, in Ethiopia, the crown prince of Ethiopia just married in November an American woman as well, African American woman.
So that's why I'm saying I think part of the positive vibe, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that our own peoples have some association
with royalty. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we, you know, have a longing to return to that status, to return to the status of our royal ancestral flow. It just happens to be for many African Americans, you know, seeing African royalty is not as exciting as European royalty, right? It is something that they respect, but then there's all this underlying current that, well, is that royalty as exalted as, the British monarchy? And that's something that I am very intimate with the royals of West Africa. Very, very fortunate to be a respected daughter of the West African communities, and the African royalty is just quite fabulous and fantastic and very, very much alive and real. I just want to say we were invited to, I went as a part of the Osiris entourage back in '95 to the 25th year anniversary jubilee of the Asante Hene, and that is the king of all of the Ghanaian kings. And it was a most extraordinary gala that we were there for 45 days in Ghana celebrating African royalty. So, I'm not really under no illusions, but I was watching Meghan too. I was like, what is happening with this chick and this gown and what is going on? And then I'm like, where's the gold? I mean, I ain't trying to knock the sister, but, let's get to Africa.
Well, and this is the thing that I'm getting at. There was also a positive reaction because we certainly felt that we participated in it.
Right.
And seeing Idris Elba
Oh,
and his
yes.
wife, and seeing Sister Oprah and Samuel L. Jackson, and seeing Serena Williams
Oh,
and
yes.
her husband there, did that not make us feel like somehow we were participating? There was a gospel choir that sang
I
"Stand
know.
by
I was
Me."
looking. I was like, what
Uh,
is going? And
the
then the minister,
the first African American Episcopal minister blessed the couple with a moving sermon
he was bringing it. I had to look at the dang on
that
screen a couple of times,
and referred to Dr. King, that love
several
conquers all.
times.
So,
Yes.
is it not reasonable for our people to have positive energy and vibration from what they witnessed, even though the Windsor family was certainly on display? Is it not an achievement that someone with African blood was there, and there were black folk there and a black minister there? Is that not uh, an achievement to some extent in your mind?
I don't know if achievement, Stan, is a word that I would connect with
Hmm.
that. I think that there is a welcoming. I think that is what, and then the whole symbolism of Prince Charles walking Meghan down up to the altar, presenting her to his son, was unprecedented. He is a heir apparent to the throne of England, and here he walked this girl, or escorted her, as they said was the proper terminology, to the altar for the marriage. No monarchy has ever done that. So I think that there is a welcoming of the African American and indeed African spirit and energy into the royal family, as showed by today's display of diversity. But achievement, I don't, let's see what all of this really means, really.
Well, I'll tell
That's what
you,
I'm saying.
I want to share with the audience and with Mama Yoga what I think it means. In the book of Psalms in the Bible, it says that in the end of times that Ethiopia will extend its hand to God and he will answer. I think that it is a phenomenon of very real divine energy calling forward the beauty and the power of who it is we really are. And people, Ruben, want to be close to us. They want to be part of us. They want to be next to us. I would say that the peoples of Africa have always been the prize.
Yes, Lord.
We are the only people on earth that other people felt they had to come into our lands to get next to us. They didn't want to leave us. And they were so enraptured by us, they even wanted to capture us. We have always been the prize. We are the soul and the spirit of the universe on this earthly plane. And I don't think that young man is confused at all.
Yeah, I don't think he's confused either.
He knows what Mick Jagger said. I mean, we know the song, right,
Oh,
Ruben?
Lord, have mercy.
Brown sugar.
How come you taste so good now?
We have always been the prize. Now, the question is, how do we move forward using our cultural, physical, intellectual, psychological gifts and be a blessing to ourselves? And that is the real question. We have a caller coming in. I'm going to move away and let Mama Yoga share with this person. Go ahead.
Hi, caller, you're on live. Welcome to the Whole Person Prosperity Matthews broadcast.
Hi, good evening. This is Jaren Kenny.
Hi, Jaren Kenny of Grades for Life.
Oh, yes. Hi, Jaron.
Thank you for putting that
How are
beautiful
you?
picture of that supreme being that came from your womb on Facebook today. What a beautiful picture. Congratulations to you and Brother Kenny.
Thank you very much. We are thrilled. So that's part of the great news. There's so much to share today.
What
One
was that
Go
image?
ahead.
Tell our audience what that image was that your baby was in.
Our baby boy Elijah is a model for Carter's clothing, and he did his very first photo shoot, if you will, just a few months ago, and now I heard today from a friend his face is all over Carter's website, and he's on Pinterest modeling baby clothes. So anyway, his college fund is on its way, so we're grateful and excited about
I
that.
claim that, well, a king can only act like a king even if it's from birth. And knowing you and Brother Al Turek, you guys are going to raise Prince Elijah as a king for sure. We ask that you call in tonight to share the good news, events, plans that your organization, Grades for Life, or any events that you may be aware of that are newsworthy in your area. So why don't you share with our audience those things that you think would be beneficial to all of us on this Share the Wealth Sunday, Jaren?
Absolutely. There's three things. First, Grades for Life is now officially partnering with the National Sales Network, and we're doing that to National Sales Network is an organization that's been around about 25, 26 years that is historically focused on sales professional development, training, networking,
Excellent.
creation of opportunities. But now with Grades for Life, we're already focusing on young people, and so we're adding a component that will help young people learn how to be entrepreneurs, learn how to be an entrepreneur, learn how to sell, understanding that if you're going to be in business of any sort, you've got to be able to sell.
That's
and
right.
so often there's basic skills that are lost, and with selling being simply whether it's moving a product or service, but also the ability to communicate and influence others. So we're going to be working in collaboration, and Grades for Life will now have an opportunity for young people and their parents or community members to become members of the organization and receive that training, as well as the networking on an ongoing basis. So we're super excited about that.
And the second piece of news you want to share?
The second is in line actually with young people excelling. At one point I was on a debate coach for a program in Newark where high school was the school that I coached in, and they dominated. I can say that truthfully because we won state championships within and intra-state championships. And school has excelled. I haven't coached in many years, but I am attending a debate tomorrow because they will be taking on the nationally ranked Science Park High School. And so they're in different divisions, if you will. They've never competed against one another, but Science Park has the number one ranked debater in the entire country, as well as the number 14th ranked debater in the entire country.
And what is that young debater's name, Jaren?
I can't even say. Oh, no. It was just communicated to me. So you got to show up tomorrow to find out. The debate is tomorrow at Newark City Hall at 5 o'clock.
Wow.
Tomorrow at City Hall in the main, I guess they call it a narthex or annex area, but it's becoming quite quickly something that's going to be very, very memorable, and just very excited to see young people just blossom and communicate with research, resolve, and conviction. So it should be quite entertaining and just
a big
just
day,
privileged to see.
a big evening under the
o'clock.
Golden Dome in Newark, huh?
Yep, Golden Dome in Newark.
So what's the
Hopefully you all
third?
come out and see.
What's the third piece of information you want to share on Share the Wealth Sunday?
The third piece is that my friend and client, Dawn Fitch, who you all may or may not all be familiar with, but she is
Very
the president
familiar.
and owner of Puka up here in
Puka.
Simple. She has a product line with all natural products, body care products, hair products, and she's retailed out of about 60 Whole Foods stores. But in an effort to not only continue to grow her brand now that she's 17 years in, she's also looking to see how she can basically share the wealth. So we're working together to help develop out an opportunity for other people. So there's going to be a financial opportunity for those who say, you know what, I love natural products, I love looking good and feeling good, and I love spreading the wealth, whether that's helping other women to look good or just to be in good health. But there's now going to be an opportunity, and she's launching that at her showroom studio on June 23rd. You can find more information at info@Pooka, pureandsimple.com. That's POOKA, pureandsimple.com. So that's exciting as well. We're all about, whether it's young people or just people in general, looking to grow, develop, and just be better across the board. That's what we're doing. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Well, I am excited to be working with you and Chris and all those in Grades for Life. Know Dawn Fitch and her partner April Mathis Reeves well, and we'll be glad to direct people to share in building wealth with Pooka and the products that they so expertly create. There's one of the three that I was expecting you to say in Share the Wealth Sunday, and that is congratulations to the one and only Rasjua Baraka on being re-elected mayor of the largest city in the state of New Jersey, the city of Newark, of which I know that there is a family member who is a part, if I may. So congratulations to the Baraka administration, all the supporters, all of the people in Newark in a re-election of the Baraka administration as Newark continues to rise and go higher and higher. So thank you so much for being with us this evening, Jaron. Jaron, let's a couple of questions. Mama Yoga in Share the Wealth Sunday issued a 7-day challenge. Are you going to eat some more green this week?
Oh, absolutely. I'm eating more greens, drinking more water. Is that for me?
Yes, dear, that was for you.
The second part, are you going to
I appreciate the challenge, and yes, I am.
Are you going to do a digital detox? Leave the phone outside of the bedroom at night?
Oh, I can absolutely do. I commit to it and be about it. So yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And listen, what did you think of the royal wedding? Did you tune in at all? What's your perspective?
I did. I loved it. You know, I just love weddings. You know, I think people make so much about all different aspects of it, but one, I just love weddings. When people love each other enough and are willing to take a chance and just say, I commit to you for the rest of my entire life. I think it's beautiful. And I just was smitten by those beautiful brown faces and all that natural hair and that choir.
Yes, the choir was
they
rocking
were just amazing.
And the choir director was fierce, honey.
All about it, yes.
She was fierce, but Meghan Markle. Anybody who knows me knows I love Leos. For some reason, I'm always connecting with Leos, honey. And so we'll just say another Leo slays the day.
Love it.
Well, Jaron, you are an awesome lady in every way. We thank your husband for sharing you with us on this Share the Wealth Sunday. Come back and contribute again, and we look forward to working with you and Chris and Grades for Life, Pooka Pure and Simple, and all of you who are part of this movement for urban wealth all across the world. The last chapter in the upward movement of people of color all around the globe is the imperative to acquire wealth so that we may create and maintain communities of our own like Newark and others, and have them be the first-class, next-level communities that we all deserve. I remember years ago, Kenneth Allen Gibson, the first African-American mayor of Newark, used to say, grass grows in Weequahic Park just fine.
That's right.
That anything that's possible in our city or in anybody else's city is possible in our city as well. And so I thank you so much for joining us, Jaron. Say good night to everybody for us. Thanks again.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Jaron.
All right.
Thank you.
Right. Well, as we close out this evening here in the Whole Person Prosperity broadcast, you are sharing.
I want to share that Mama Yoga will begin our yoga classes. We have a wonderful partnership with a dear friend of mine, Joan Brame, at the Empower fitness studio in Lawrence Township, New Jersey, here, Central Jersey. We're going to have the mind, body, energy enrichment classes. There are two twice a month. It's beginning June 3rd. That's a Sunday, everybody. So come on out. If this is a practice that you know will resonate with you, will begin to help balance out areas of your life, you can come 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, beginning June 3rd, and we're going to have some wonderful time with our Mind, Body, Energy Enrichment series. Also, we will be having Guarantee Their Greatness coming up on June the 23rd at the beautiful Mercer County Conference Center out in West Windsor, New Jersey. This will be a standing room only event. We're going to have an awesome keynote speaker, very, very excellent networking. We'll have some vendors. You can check the site, the Inner Circle. Is that where the site? Inner Circle
And
Network.
And
the Matthews. You can go to the MatthewsBroadcast.com and the InnerCircleNetwork.com for details for the Guarantee Their Greatness. It is an outstanding event with up-and-coming entrepreneurs, and we're going to have our keynote speaker that has tons of experience in promoting and being successful with entrepreneurs as well. That's going to be on June 23rd. So
And the
you have
time?
the time is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Mercer Conference Center. So you have a few events that we are putting together for you to help inspire you, to help elevate your mind, body, energy, and your pockets. Because what good is all that meditating, breathing, and yoga, and mindfulness, and body energy, and your PSE&G is not working?
Well,
You need the money too, right?
Well, the reality is that whole person prosperity is a philosophy that says that when you raise your mind, body, energy, it will enable you to attract and acquire anything you desire,
That's right.
including raising your financial prosperity, raising your
That's right.
relationships in your life, giving you the physical body and the mental power that you need in your life. Just wanted to also add, as we're sharing events, that tomorrow the Inner Circle Network of Central Jersey will be meeting at Studio B Bistro and Bakery at 439 South Broad Street from 8 to 9:30 p.m., where we will be sharing qualified business referrals with each other. We are going to have the newly elected councilman at large in the city of Trenton, Jarrell Blakely, will join us to do a victory lap, as well as to say thank you for all those who supported him. And I just want to also reiterate that on the Monday, the 4th of June, and every Monday thereafter, the Matthews broadcast can be seen not only on the Matthews Broadcast website, but also at Comcast Channel 190 in the entire state of New Jersey.
Whoop, whoop.
So we look forward to sharing with you on the Comcast platform and sharing with Comcast viewers and subscribers. Our whole reason for being is to participate in the movement for wealthy, healthy, urban communities wherever they are. That is our whole reason for being. We can achieve what we will, as the Honorable Marcus Garvey said, and we look forward to building those sustainable, healthy, wealthy communities with all of you. Just want to remind you that you cannot finish anything successfully until you start something confidently. So going into our third year, we are confident that we are gathering people to this movement, this imperative for healthy, wealthy urban communities. It is the final destination so that we can create and maintain wealthy communities of our own. Our whole person prosperity coach is here to guide us in how to achieve that community and that personal prosperity, and we look forward to having her as well as you, our audience, engage in this discussion. So until next time, remember, there are two types of people in the world.
Yeah.
There are dreamers like our whole person prosperity coach, Mama Yoga. There are dreamers like our engineer, Ruben Rodriguez, here with us tonight. There are dreamers like all of those of you, like Sister Jaren Kenny who called in, and there are dream killers. Embrace the first and
Yes.
run like heck from the second.
second.
This is Stan Matthews.
And I'm
Glad to be in the presence of our whole person prosperity coach, Mama Yoga, Miss Samut Scott, saying good night and God bless.
peace and love.